Hello, everybody. How you doing? And hi, Amy. My niece is on here, so this better be good. If you hear any noise, it's trash day. They're picking up the trash out there, so that's always exciting. Hey, I tell you what, I am trying something brand new. My name is Andy Elliott. I live and work in Williamson County, Tennessee. I live in Brentwood, and I'm a real estate realtor down here. But what I wanted to do today was to do the update housing market in Williamson County, and I'm going to explain this here. And I'm calling this a pop-up because I haven't advertised this. I'm not promoting it in any way, but I wanted to have this content on my channel for anybody that's thinking about moving to Williamson County or this area. So let me kind of break this down for you. I'll tell you what I'm talking about here. So again, I'm doing a live stream pop-up, meaning there's no warning. If you see me reading, it's because I want to stay on track. So I'll be reading. It's not the normal buttery smooth type of video that I normally do. So this is going to be a little bit different. But anyway, so what I'm going to be doing is breaking down Williamson County housing market update in general compared year over year so that we can kind of see where the market's headed. And we all know, that things are slowing down, things are getting tough, but it's good to look at those numbers and see what's happening. That's going to tell us the story of where we're headed. Then after that, and it won't take but a minute, but after that, I'm going to break down the three of the four most popular cities in this area, and that's going to be Brentwood, Franklin, and Spring Hill. And the reason for those three is they get the most attention outside of Nolensville, maybe. But they have significantly different lifestyles there, or meaning cost of living in terms of housing. The cost of living itself is going to be about the same. I wanted to be clear. This live stream, see, I'm messing up already. What I'm trying to say is in the three cities, the housing is significantly different. The cost of living is going to be about the same, in my opinion. And I've lived here 17 years now, that the quality of life is about the same. The main difference really is the housing costs. And so there's other places that you can live here in Williamson County. You got tons of options, but these three are the ones that get the single most attention. So here we go. This is just gonna be a fabulous test. See how this works. Here we go. Going to share this. We're going to start out, if you're not familiar with the Nashville area or Tennessee, Williamson County is just south of Nashville. And you've got Brentwood, Franklin, and Spring Hill, which is going to be part in Murray County, but there's a big chunk of it in Brentwood too. So this is just to establish where you are so you won't be lost. And I hope this stayed live. Did it stay live? Good. Good. No, it did not. Okay, so here we're going to have to reload this. No surprise there. Here we go. It only holds for just a few minutes. So here we're going to look at some of the metrics, and this is in Williamson County. Now, the reason that I'm doing this, of course, all three cities are in Williamson County, so this is going to be general information, but it's really going to be an excellent way to tell what the trends are. So we're going to start with the active listings. Now, as you can see, we got to get rid of some of this live stream, man. I'm telling you, here we go. We're going to get rid of 2020. Here we go. Okay. The active listings, this black is clearly it's 22. It's not clearly, it's right here. Hopefully you can see that okay. Can you see that okay, Amy? Give me an answer if you can. Thumbs up or something. Because I know if you're watching on your phone, it's probably pretty small. But here's the active listings this year versus last year. That's huge. And the reason that's happening is, and we're going to get into this, is that houses aren't selling nearly as quickly. That's why that's happening. Now, the year over year, this is going to be a little bit strange if you're into graphs and stuff. It's the percentages. So Year over year is 102% year over year active listings for us. So that what that means is there's just a ton. If you're a buyer, you've got a ton of options. So let's go look at this next. It's going to be the inventory age. A couple of years ago, a house wouldn't be on the market for an hour, 2 hours, 2 days maximum. I mean, houses, and it was this way across the country, but homes were just flying off the shelf. But now things have really slowed down. The age of the inventory, when a house gets listed, if it doesn't sell, of course, it starts to age. And that's when a house ages, that's when people will say, well, I wonder what's wrong with the house. I mean, how come it hasn't sold yet? Well, at this point in time, we're going to get into that in a minute. But the reason is buyers are scared. They've been pushed away because of the high interest rates. The high prices are certainly probably the biggest. Well, it's equal. High prices and high interest rates keeping buyers off the market. But the age in Williamson County, again, is huge. This is the age of inventory is huge. 58 days. And last year it was 30 days. Percentage year over year is 20. It looks like 26%. I think I'm reading that right. And it's down 15% from 21. So it's the inventory, meaning they sold that much faster in 21. So they are hanging out in realtor terms relative to what it was last year. Amazing length of time. Now here's what happens. This is a big deal. You've been reading about, prices are crashing, prices are dropping, things are going down. What they're talking about is in the initial listing, when you go to price a house initially, if people are not buying it, you're going to start dropping the price to get people interested. Price drops here. These are the price drops in Williamson County. It's up 6.7%, which doesn't seem like a lot, but this is a ton of properties having price drops. Percentage year over year, 6.7. Am I reading that right? I think I am. 4.2 year over year. But you can see any way you look at it, 21's price drops was negligible, but now we're like skyrocketing price drops, and all they're trying to do is motivate buyers to buy. That's really all it is. So now we're going to go into the month's supply. And I'm doing this. There's a reason for this. There's a method to my madness here. The month's supply is, we've got 20 weeks. So what is that? 4, 16, 4, almost 5 months. That is astonishing compared to where it was last year. They're saying it was 6 weeks last year. I kind of don't believe that. Seems a little long. I wonder if there's 12. No, I'm going to leave that be. I'm a little nervous, can you tell? But the week's supply here has skyrocketed versus last year. So we've got a ton of houses on the market. We've got a ton of inventory. Price drops all over the place. So the natural outflow of that is going to be the median sale price, because people are trying to get people to buy. And what they do is they lower the price again. So it's the median sale price now, today in Williamson County, and we're going to break out this in a minute, is $779. Just a month ago, it was $821. Before that was $840. We've gone from $840 to $779 in how many weeks? About 5 weeks, maybe. I think that's right. That's $100,000 drop. Now that's, again, we're going to break this out. 9.5. So it's down 10%, I guess, is what that's saying. Median sale price is down a bunch, and it's still not working. And the evidence of that is the age of the inventory, right? So let's go to the next one. We're going to go to the breakout pretty soon here, but this is pretty important. Let's go to the homes sold. It's down 32%. The homes sold is 73 in Williamson County. It looks to be like for a month from October to November. There's 111 last year. It's 73, so that's not quite a 50% drop. Homes sold, it's down 34% than it was last year. So, I mean, the homes are trailing off. The home sales they're just trailing off. And that, again, is evident in age of the inventory, the number of listings going up, price drops. Everything is trying to force the market into making it more positive, frankly, for buyers to get motivated to go out and buy. That's what's trying to happen. Now, we go into what's called a leading indicator. And what that means, everything I just showed you is all history. It's everything that's happened in the past, and it shows you the trends up to now. We won't know till tomorrow till it happens. In other words, homes sold. But pendings, but the way that works is houses that are under contract, it's presumed that they'll close. Not all of them will, but it's presumed they will. So this is considered to be a leading indicator. What that means is if there's fewer pendings, homes pending now, next month or next month and a half, whatever it is, it's 30, 45 days, general run of things. You're not going to have those closings. They're just not available because they haven't been put under contract. Down 45%. 45% pendings in 1 year. What that tells you is that the market is slowing down at a tremendous pace. Going to make sure this is still alive. Good. It's slowing down at a tremendous pace. And what does that tell us about the future? It tells us that probably the market's going to keep trending down for, well, as long as it takes. And part of the reason is going to be interest rates. It's important that the Fed gets this right. I'm getting ready to do a video here in the next day or so. Experts are predicting the house price drop of 20%, up to 20% next year. Well, a correction is under 10%. That's what they call a correction. And I hate to use the word because I'm not a crash monger, but anything more than 10%, that's what they call a crash. So anyway, there's a lot happening. And what this video, this live pop-up is about is for anybody that has interest that they're coming this way. It's up to you, of course, you want to decide to buy or not. It's certainly not up to me. But what is the trend? To help you make a decision moving forward, what's the trend? Which way is it going? So you can kind of protect your interest. That's really what this is all about. Sounds crazy, but that's what we're trying to do here. So we're going to break out the 3 cities, and they are going to be, again, Brentwood, Franklin, Spring Hill. I'm going to pull up the map again real quick. Brentwood is a very affluent area. It's a wonderful place to live. Let's call it what it is. There's a lot of money in Brentwood. And you're going to see that pretty shortly here, how this breaks out. Franklin is affluent, but it has more of a mix of the middle income. Brentwood doesn't have a lot of middle income. Maybe nowadays they call it middle income, but Franklin has a little more of that. And you're going to see that crystal clear in a second. And Spring Hill, which is down south, and again, I haven't included all of it because some of it's in Murray County, and there's Columbia down there, Spring Hill, Thompson Station. Those are both in Williamson County, but Spring Hill, about only half of it. But that is a completely different housing environment, meaning price-wise. Great place to live. The history on Spring Hill simply is years ago, still is. There's a GM plant down there that I think Saturn started it back in the 90s or something, which I think Saturn's part of GM. But that's where I think there's part of the history of Spring Hill. What drew people there was the Saturn plant. Anyway, so here's what we're going to break out. This is what, if you're looking in Spring Hill, this is what the housing spread looks like. Everything, this is everything. Everything for sale in Spring Hill, that's what it looks like. If we go to Franklin, this is quite a difference here, you'll see. I mean, man, Franklin is very, very, very popular, very popular. And then we've got Brentwood. I'm showing off my typing skills here. I usually have to type backwards more than I do forward. And here's the spread on Brentwood, and it's only 142 listings. We're going to go through that in a minute. But I wanted you to get a feel for what's going on with that. So here's the breakdown on these three cities. Here we go. Sorry, I got my notes here. I'm still reading my notes. Yes, I am. So we've got the Google map, showed you where they are. Now we're going to go into the listing breakdowns. These are the active listings. We're going to start with homes for sale. You can see over here, you got Franklin. Hopefully you can't see that. Can't see that. Trying to fix this so you can see it. Well, you can't. I'm going to press forward. The orange is Franklin. This dark gray here is Brentwood, and the green is Spring Hill. So in terms of homes for sale currently active in Franklin, there's 571. In Brentwood, there's 289. In Spring Hill, there's 308. That's how many there are active. So let's look at how old the inventory is, days on market. Then we're going to do the average on this. Now I'm doing this, breaking it out by month so you can see how severe the changes are. And it's gone, again, this is the Brentwood. You can see that. I'm pretty sure you can see that. It's that gray color. Days on market goes from 24, and it's gotten faster. So that's gone down to 18. Let's see what the median looks like. 10 to 8. Franklin, 9 to 9. So things are picking up in terms of days on market in these three towns. So now we're going to do the price drops. Here we have Franklin. And it's Franklin right here is there's 15% more price drops this year than there were last year. That's additional. In Brentwood, there's 11% more price drops than there were last year. In Spring Hill, there's almost 27% more price drops. Spring Hill's a little harder to sell. I mean, Franklin and Brentwood, they're sort of, they call them premier areas, whatever. And so people want to live here for a lot of reasons, but it's kind of interesting. So now we're going to go into the month's supply. This is crazy. And I think that they're doing this right. So in Franklin, we've got 2.8 months supply. Brentwood is 3.1. Spring Hill is 2.0, 2 months supply. But you can see that those are ticking up, and those are just, this is from August. When was this? February. I mean, look at the month's supply as it's going up. It's amazing how long houses are taking to get off the market, but it's based on everything we were seeing before. Age of inventory, added listings just won't sell. Buyers aren't getting out there. The number of buyers out there is a historic low, and they base that on the number of applications that are filled out for mortgages. Now we're going to go for the median home prices. This is a crazy one. Median home prices in Franklin, $775 in September. October it was $756. In Spring Hill, looks like, yeah, sorry, that was Brentwood. Sorry, live stream up to $756. But wait till you see how this changes. In Brentwood, it goes from $775 to $756, so it dropped, and then Spring Hill $524 to $950. But watch this average. The median means that they're splitting. Half is high, half is above that median amount, and half is below that median amount. And of course, average, you just take the number and divide it, add all of them together and divide it by that, and that's the average. But so in Franklin or Brentwood, so it's 1.3 million, and it dropped to 1.2 million September to October. So the prices are coming down there. In Franklin, 928 to 900. Now that's a big difference from this median price when we're looking at the 700s. In this case, you're going to find that this is probably more accurate to give you a better taste of a better sense. Hi, Daniel. It's a better sense of what's going on is the average. And down here in Spring Hill, a little more modest, 577 to 580. And so that's what's going on there. The homes sold, let's look at that. Closed. And I'm not laughing like it's funny. When I chuckle, I guess that's just the way I handle stress, because in this market, we're looking back in January, where it's always slow in January, and that's where we're headed now, right? But during the course of the year, it just went nuts. And then we get to June and everything starts falling apart. Rates are starting to skyrocket. There's problems ahead. The Fed's making its move, right? Look at the number of closed sales in Franklin, 155. Brentwood is all the way down to 56. And Spring Hill is 109. Whereas what was it before? 252. 252 to 155. What is that? 30% at least. Brentwood 127 to 56. That's over half of a drop. Spring Hill 165 to 109. That's 40%. I mean, these are huge numbers that are dropping off. These are huge numbers. There's some massive adjustments going on. And then we'll look at the pending sales here. I think I did that. I doubled up on that. Sorry about that. But we're looking at the future here. There isn't a lot happening. There isn't a lot happening. The reason that all this information is so important, I think, is if you're considering what to come out to Williamson County, and again, it's a really popular place. People love it here. There's good schools in the entirety of Williamson County. But sorry, a lot of ums. It's live. See, my videos are smooth, man. Live stream, not so much, but I'm going to get good. All the lagging indicators are clear that the market is falling off a cliff. It just is. And we're coming in to the holiday season. And the thing about the holiday season is that very few people really want to sell their house during the holidays. And as a buyer, you don't want to get out and traipse it around. You're not doing that in Buffalo anyway. But when it gets cooler for the colder states, you don't want to be out in the cold. And it's harder to get interested in buying a house during the holidays unless you're on a timeline and that you have to. So let me finish this up, and I've got some holiday thoughts. So the leading indicators are saying the same thing. Everything, all the history has been killing us, really. I don't, how else do you, it's been killing us. And the leading indicator, the lagging indicators have been killing us. The leading indicators of pending, and there's more, jobs and stuff like that, but that's for the general economy. But for the pendings, that's off a cliff too. So if you were to try to expand that out and look at that, what would that look like in the future? Do you think that it's going to be going up, or do you think that it's going to be continuing to go down? The Fed, until the Fed acts, until they take off the pressure on the interest rates, nothing's going to change, meaning it's not going to get better. That's not going to happen. Plus, there's one other thing I wanted to show you, and this is, if you guys know me, this is not my style, but I'm going to show you anyway because I didn't like seeing this. There is a term, correction versus crash. I'm not, you know me, I'm not a crash monger. I'm not. There's been people screaming crash for 2 years. In this particular case, there's a lot of economists, professionals, and they're saying that home prices could crash 20% if Fed fails to thread the needle. And what they're talking about is if the Fed doesn't get it right, if they don't cool off inflation properly and overshoot their mark, because they tend to watch the lagging indicators. They make a move, see what happens, make their adjustments. That's the way that works. And this guy is saying they're watching the wrong thing. And if they're not careful, that we could crash the market, using that word properly, economists are using it, of 20%. And here's another version of the same story. House might plunge 20% of the hottest markets. In particular, if you're looking at Austin, Phoenix, Tampa, maybe. If it was really hot, you might be able to expect that they would fall further. I've always said the ones that flew the highest are probably going to be the ones that fall first, So we'll have to see how that works out. But I didn't like reading that. But it goes back to the main question. If you were trying to decide on what to do going into a new area, and you didn't, you had the privilege of, the privilege of time, what do you think the trend line is going to show on this? And the signs seem to be saying that it's not getting better really quick. So here's if it was me, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If it was me considering moving to a new area, I'd have to wait and see how it plays out a little bit. If you're under pressure and you're under a lifestyle change, a relationship change, a job change, something that just can't be helped, your two options is, if you got to move anyway, move and buy a house, or you could rent and kind of watch things for a minute. But rents are brutal, but they're starting to come down, so I understand. But if it was me, I couldn't help but wait and watch a little bit. Because, those trend lines, if they were smooth, I'd have some idea of what to expect maybe. But and I'm not laughing because it's funny. I can't believe it. That something I read the other day, 37% of small real estate companies couldn't pay their October rent. And there's layoffs all over the place. The trend lines are saying you might want to wait and watch a minute. So I don't mean that to be in a scary way, but you know what? I do want to be as honest as I know how to do, and I'm not an economist. And boy, something could happen that change things in a heartbeat. And things that come around and we just be perfectly fine. But until I get some evidence of that, I'm going to be watching out a little bit. So here's the deal. The bottom line on Williamson County is there's great schools, there's great people. The weather it's really nice. It's cold today, but you know what? It's 57. It's not that cold. Winter is easy. A lot of people like it here. Franklin is a beautiful place to see. It's like Mayberry. But if you're thinking about Williamson County area, at least come by and visit and see what you're getting into. The one thing that I would, if you have to move, think about this a second. If you have to move and you are in the area, you're looking at houses, or you get on Zillow or whatever to find properties. If a house has been on the market for 30, 40 days and 20 days, 50 days, up there a while. And they've been trying to price drop, or maybe not. If it's been up there for a while, the chances are good that they still want to sell it. And that is a situation where you could offer less and still have a really good chance of getting the house. I'm not a big fan of lowballing. I'm really not. But you could negotiate a much better price on a house that's been on the market, because frankly, you'd be able to honestly say, I like your house, but there's a ton of other ones on the market too. So I'll see you. For any seller that's particularly motivated, sorry, sellers, things, you had your heyday here for a couple of years. If seller wants to get a buyer, they're going to negotiate. If they want to make a move, if they have to make a move, they're going to negotiate, and you're going to be able to negotiate not only price, but maybe closing costs a little bit, or maybe buy down rate if that's a smart thing to do. You talk to your lender on that. But there's going to be a number of things that you can get concessions on, and that is a different world. So for people that are prepared, really ready to buy these days, you can really get out there and take much more control than we had just a few months ago. And that's what's crazy about this, is only a few months ago, sellers were able to demand almost whatever they wanted, and they would get it. Well, those days are really long gone. So the one thing it proves is the housing market is cyclical, and that's why waiting and watching it's not a bad thing. There is a bottom. We don't know what it is, but anyway. So I hope that helped. The whole point of this was to add content to my channel that's going to help somebody make a decision. And I wasn't as clean and crisp and smooth as I wanted to be, because I was a little nervous. So, but if you get the point, things aren't looking so sweet these days. If you're thinking about Williamson County, send me a text, give me a call, send me an email if you want. That'd be whatever. But I'd love to be able to talk to you. I'd call and I'll tell you whatever you want to know about the area. I've been here for quite a while, so it's home to me. So listen, thanks a lot for putting up with this first time pop-up. That's what I'm going to call it, a pop-up. And I'll see you when I see you. Thanks a lot.